You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning.
Waking up the masses.
When you wake up in the morning,
It's your baby mama's favorite astrologer.
like, can I get 5 more minutes?
Scrape that crust off that third eye and tap in with Hood in the Morning.
Every morning.
From Atlantis to Egypt, you are now tapped in with the realest nigga on the internet, the Hood Mystic. The Hood Mystic.
Making sure my levels is right. Good morning, Grand Rising. It is Hood in the Morning. First off, man, thank y'all for giving me another opportunity to share these messages. Really worked hard on this message. So just glad to be here, man, and glad to just one more day, you know. I'm really in the space of just taking moments and times and energies and being completely grateful, you know what I'm saying, for it all. It's a tough time though, so in breaking down and understanding these tough times, and trust me, maybe you got it all figured out, right? Maybe you got it all figured out. And if you support this channel, You know, first off, like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, but email me some tips on how you got life to be so goddamn perfect. You understand what I'm saying? Because as of now, it's kind of, when I say it's a tough time, when I say it's hard, it's time to make tough decisions about the direction of your year, right? Think about all of the things you want to do in the next 13 moon cycles. That's a big thing. And so you could stay on the same level that you are today, or you can decide to ascend. And if you decide to ascend, then there is going to be some things that have to change within your life. And so the purpose of this conversation is to get you into, you know, astrological alignment. But then I just want to kick it to you on some common sense shit. You feel me? Like, thank y'all for letting me be both, because I am both. You understand? Like, I'm regular as fuck, and sometimes I can get real magical at times, but at the end of the day, I allow myself to be both, and trying not to be super special, but really focus in and tune in to my expertise and actually trying to be the best me and doing what I do. I'm not trying to hold back no creativity. I'm not trying to hold back no love. I'm not trying to hold back no money. You feel me? I'm not trying to hold back shit. I'm trying to level the fuck up, right, this year. And I need all of y'all. So like, share, subscribe, comment, you know, chat it up in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me all right. Can y'all hear the music in the backgrounds? Is the vibes okay? Because each episode, I'ma listen to it, I'ma see where I fuck up at, and try to make each show a little better, because not for me, but for everybody involved. I want this to be an experience. I hope you got your coffee, hope you got your tea, hope you got your water, hope you got your blunts rolled. If you serpent, hope you got your Newports lit. I mean, whatever y'all gonna do to enjoy y'all life, go ahead and do it, because this is the times to be grateful and enjoy. So, good morning, grand rising, very loud and clear. Okay. That's good to hear. So let's just, all right, cool. You know, Sacred, I gotta show love to Sacred. Everybody, shout out to Sacred. We gonna be tuned in and tapped in a little later. Sacred has produced another wonderful show, Chakra Nova, episode 7. We getting up there. You know, Eileen. Okay, we got full vibrations, full syncopation, full synchronization, and let's talk about what nobody talks about. Peace to everybody. Yes, I'm waiting on my hood mugs too. My hood mug has actually been sent out. I think it's out for delivery. So the next time I do a hood in the morning, I will have my coffee mug, and I will be in an undisclosed location, because the mystics are hitting the road once again, doing that spiritual work, pulling up to mounds throughout the country, opening up some portals, tapping into, you know, I get what I get from the earth, you know, and I have to go to certain places, have to follow my intuition to certain towns and cities and things of that nature. I have to be an explorer, and then come back and say, this is where my intuition has led me. So that's how we kick off every April in our family. We really celebrate the new year by getting the fuck up out the house. Some people reference like doing the work and getting into the spiritual work and things of that nature, and just sitting in the fucking house, okay? You are a nature being. This whole planet is yours. Tell me the sense do it make for you to sit in a 5,000 square foot, if you lucky, 100 square foot studio apartment, and sitting in there and meditating all the fucking time, right? Don't nobody want to be on them type of vibrations and levels, and then you want to build and deal with people, and you ain't never walked outside the crib. How's that gonna work? So Start now, start early, because this is the first house. Energy is in Aries. As you see, the sun is now getting into Aries. So it's not even fully into the Aries energy. So as we move through this week, we will now begin a new metamorphosis and a new process. And if you're not up on that, let me just break it down for you. You set your tone by action, right? So every year, instead of saying, I want me and my family to travel this year, we hop in the fucking car or the van, we'll rent a car, we'll do whatever the hell we need to do to set the tone and the vibration, and it tends to work off like that. Sitting here, I've learned in my spiritual journey, being knee deep, 10 toes down, that being knee deep and 10 toes down, that you can't just talk about it, you gotta be about this shit. And being about it is going into nature and shutting the fuck up, right? You can talk all you want to talk, you can be the best person that people expect you to be, but it's a hierarchy, right? Human beings are mere vessels for celestial energy and also nature energy, because nature energy and celestial energy is closely related based upon the times that we cultivate. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna restart this tonight. Okay. Based upon how we cultivate the land. We cultivate the land based upon new moons. Now think about that for a second. If you're going to eat food, the reason that you're here is because your peoples ate some food, right? And they planted shit in the earth and grew that shit, right? So centuries and lifetimes and generations of this process, and it all starting on a new moon, connects the celestials to nature, to your basic root of living and cultivation, and knowing how to hold the wheat and hold the grain and store the grain, right? Movements, buildings, measurements allowed us all to grow and flourish as kings and queens, right? But last time I checked, we pulling up to the grocery store for our sustenance, and we still trying to figure it out. Last time I checked, we just chilling in the crib, watching the news tell us about us, still trying to figure it out. It's real simple. When you look at the wands, when you look at fire energy, it spreads. It spreads, okay? So, and what I want to talk about, and good morning, peace to everybody, grand rising. It's a wonderful morning. It's Hood in the morning. You tuned in and tapped in. You thought these days weren't going to never come back again. Look at God, and look at white boy Jesus, and look at black Jesus with the fro coming together like, we about to bring Hood in the morning back, because people need this shit. Y'all went hella wayward, and ain't nobody to keep it real with y'all no more. What happened? Remember, the conscious community used to be so strong, and now motherfuckers just sound crazy. You be like, okay. And then, wait a second. Never mind. So we gonna do this like Prodigy. Shout out to Prodigy. Shout out to the head nigga in charge, Prodigy of Mobb Deep. On YouTube, you can find this album, but you can't find it on Spotify. It's called The Hegelian Dialect, right? And the Hegelian dialect is problem, solution, reaction. Peep the code gang though. The government do this in spades. But how they able to do it is that they teach human beings that everything's supposed to be good for you. And if things ain't good for you, it's a problem with you. So we go our whole lives running away from our problems, when in fact, if we were to solve our problems, we would be in spades. This is live. We live. We really live. And no Instagram. We back, baby. Shout out to Plies. But peep it though. Peep it. Imagine if you fixated and focus on your problems instead of avoiding them. So when you culminate in a sun cycle incursion into Aries with Venus being love, okay? But the thing about love is that you might have to listen to my ass snore every night. And believe me, I snore loud as fuck. And I'm real conscious on digestion. So I might take a shit like 5 times a day. You ain't even know that. Maybe that not even make you like me no more. Right? Damn, you said you shit how many times? And you snore? Damn, I don't even know if I even want to do it no more. Because love got negative shit attached to it the whole way through. It's like good and bad. It's like a coin. And if you look at a coin and see the head and imagine that I see the head, so I must have won. The tails is right under there. So if you flip it again, you gonna get tails. 50-50. You gonna get heads one day, you gonna get tails the next day. Your woman gonna be like that, and your man gonna be like that. Some days you gonna be at the job like, I kind of like this job, it's cool. Little Jane ass, she kind of cool, she kind of funny, little funny ass Jane, I like Jane. Next day, I'm so tired of this fucking job, I can't stand this job, I'm ready to quit. I gotta leave, I can't stand it no more. Well, society and the government has programmed you to think that everything's supposed to be perfect, when in fact, everything that you take a part of is going to have problems associated with it. So the goal is to look at the day, look at the energy, and say, what the fuck are my problems and how can I solve that shit today? I'm not even going to wait for my problems. I'm not going to sit back and wish on good shit. You got to clean out that body. That's how I think clearly. If I got shit if I'm full of shit, I'm full of shit. Part of my job is to not be full of shit. So I gotta cleanse. But you might not even think that the hood mister takes shits. You might think that I'm so deep that I don't even sit my ass on the toilet. You're wrong, I do. I sit on my toilet multiple times a day. But you never get that energy from people. People imagine that I sit and pull rose petals every day and talk about she loves me not. When in fact, I'm making a lot of tough decisions. I'm making a lot of sacrifices. I'm not the closest accessible person to my friends and family. And that's very hurtful at times. But at the same time, I feel super empowered to know that I'm full-fledged, fully immersed within my spiritual journey. And it's the right thing that I should be doing. If I was the coolest person to my friends and family, I would actually be in a path that I wouldn't be happy with. However, the path that I'm happy with comes with sacrifices. It comes with making chances to sit and not be with my 4 boys and my wife, but to sit and be talking to y'all and chopping up this astrology game. And understanding this energy, right? We dealing with Aries energy. Hold on, somebody kept it real, and I don't even know. Let me pull you to the top. I be needing to know who keeping it real nowadays. Cause a lot of people be like, damn, I stopped coming on YouTube cause like y'all don't even think I'm serious about it. But then I was like, well, are you serious about it? You know? Questions I've been asking myself about certain things about, you say you want to do shit, but you don't even be doing shit and you make excuses for shit. So I just been manning up, standing up. But I realize it's Aries energy. So think about Aries energy is found in 3 cards, specifically 4 cards, but we're going to do a 4 of Wands extravaganza, right? We don't need to worry about the 4 of Wands when we have so much energy to chop up in reference to the Hegelian dialect. When we engage in Earth, we engaging in school. And trust me, if you in this bitch with perfection from head to toe, you a dime piece, you got a mansion, you got 18 cars, you spiritually aligned, you be astro traveling, you got a fairy garden, you got an actual garden, you feed the homeless, you got all your checks crossed, you done did like 17 things on your bucket list already, you only 25. Clap clap it up for you. You understand what I'm saying? But we're in a cyclical nature, and because we decide to clear the board, don't make us wrong, don't make us bad. It actually makes us cultivists. It actually makes us in tune with our ancestors, because our ancestors look at an empty land and think about all of the things that it can grow, for it can sustain itself in the future. Y'all niggas all cap about shit that y'all did in previous moon cycles. I hope you got a good harvest situation and you got a good refrigeration situation, because your ass is going to need it out here in these streets. You're going to be eating goddamn part and parcel, right? Because if you're not looking at the life like, damn, this is a problem, I don't know how to grow my own food. This is a problem, I don't know how to exist in nature. This is a problem, staying confined in a studio apartment is not conducive to my spirit, because my sun is in Sagittarius, my moon is in Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius rising, so I gotta go, but I'm just sitting here confined. Well, you tapped into fire energy, you tapped into wine's energy. But ultimately, if you're sitting in that studio, if you looking at your shit like on the internet, like, I'm boss hogging, I got everything in control, I got it all figured out here in these streets. You know me, I'm that guy, I'm that girl, right? You're avoiding your problems for clout, and that's a real bad problem, right? That's the biggest problem ever. And then make it so bad, you probably don't even be getting the clout that you even really deserve, because the real shit is you looking dead at your problems and going head first for them and solving them, instead of figuring that it's going to be an easy process. How you get into the Hegelian dialogue and the Hegelian dialect is very biological. You can see it in caterpillars and butterflies. Like a caterpillar is a butterfly, but a caterpillar don't know that they a butterfly. So when you reference success, you are success, but you just don't know that you are success. Your success is a result of a transformational process that Venus and Uranus gives you the opportunity to experience, because Uranus is a transpersonal planet. Venus is a personal planet centered in what you love, but what you love is two-sided. To deal with the problems in the relationship is to have a successful relationship. To avoid the problems in the relationship is over before it even starts. You got to be clear on this. I'm going to get into this relationship because I'm here to solve problems within myself for this person, because I love this person so much that I want to help them in their life. And I know that it's going to be hard for them because it's hard for me. However, let's tune in and tap in to biological processes, metamorphical processes, such as tantra, such as sex magic, such as communication. Right? If you just think that this whole process is love and light, and I'm gonna just walk into this relationship and they gonna just have a 10-inch dick and pay all of the bills and take care of the kids and take the kids to baseball practice and braid the little girl hair, you want a super nigga. And some of these men are flawed, and they need somebody that can see that they are problem solvers. This is a hard thing to come across, trust me, I know, but it's a very personal thing. So I'm trying to have a personal conversation in relation to a caterpillar does not know that is a butterfly. There are cells within the butterfly that come online, and the caterpillar at first thinks that it is a problem. And it actually is a problem, but that problem comes in just letting that energy attack it, because it's within itself and it's here for transformation. But when you stuck in caterpillar world, when you stuck in humanity, when you stuck in family, when you stuck in your cycles, don't even realize it's cycles. trapped in a cycle, don't understand the cycles, and you trying to ascend, and you trying to evolve, and you're not even really understanding that your evolution is a natural biological process. I need y'all to go on Google at a time in your leisure time when you get some free time and Google imaginal cells, and that's imagine AL, right? No E, so IMAGINAL, cells, right? For human beings, that's imagination, but for the caterpillar, it's an actual cell that incurs, that transforms him to the actual energy that allows him to transcend planes in existence that he never even imagined that he could do. But you have to understand, when you look at the world, your success is, we all can be successful in the next few moments. You can sit in contemplative thought while I'm talking. You smoking your blunt, you drinking your tea, you drinking your coffee, and you can contemplate on the problems in life that you can solve and some action steps to get into the space of solving your problems. Because as we can see, the systems is breaking down around us. Now, are you breaking down with the system? Are you breaking down with the country because you are the country? Or are you a spiritual being having a human experience to which you are understanding the challenge and realizing the next step? Understanding the challenge is evolution and is natural. Y'all done walked up steps. By the time you get to the 7th step, your legs is tired. Meaning that to rise is a strenuous process. You need to restore yourself. You need to make sure that you're in the proper health. Because you might be in this shit trying to be happy and being emotional the whole time, and you just eating food. Whenever you happy or sad, or you just smoking weed, or you just doing coke, I mean, however you get down, you coping with the fact that you have problems, when the fact is you have to address that shit. No matter who the fuck you are, within yourself, within your life, there are problems. And even more so, when you start to address that shit, you become a leader by default. Why? Because ain't nobody fucking dealing with their problems, fam. They avoiding that shit by posturing themselves up as being your mama, your daddy, your great grandmammy. I'm better than you because the way that I posture myself. You see how much money I got? I'm older than you. I got this. I got this. I got that. How are you solving problems that go on in my life? You're not. How are you solving problems that go on in your life? You're not. It's a bunch of posturing. So let's think about it on a personal level before you begin to posture and look at the different ways that you can set your posture up to look a little bit more better than what you actually are, to get something that you truly probably don't even deserve, because generally what's understood don't never need to be said. To which, how do you get understanding? You get under the fucking hood into your subconscious mind and program that shit. You work so hard and diligently to build up your expertise to the point that people come to you for shit, and you gotta say, hold on, that's too much, I need to chill. Y'all want this too much. That's how you know you're an expert in something. If somebody knocking down your door for something, a lot of y'all niggas knocking on your door for never mind, I'm gonna leave that alone. The idea is to be good at something. The idea is to be a leader. The idea is to tune into imagination. And the thing about imagination is specifically reserved for you, and it's waiting for you to express it. It is your own personal elevation device that's within yourself, that if you're paying attention to what I'm doing, paying attention to what she doing, you paying attention to what he doing all fucking day, you not tuned in and tapped into your imagination by default. It's okay to express. It's okay to project. But to absorb and constantly absorb and reabsorb energy that's not even reflective of what you got going on, that's another level of the game. So to hammer home the point, how do you respond to your problems? Because your problems are good things. Why? Because the problem is encoded with the solution already there. But during this time, in reference to problems, they can be easily equated to stress. So when stress comes, you tuned in and tapped into the ancient part of your mind that imagines a bear. Right? This is the formality for which allowed your ancestors to survive in the wilderness with saber-tooths and woolly mammoths and things of that nature. Stress, that's a real stress. That's a real problem. A goddamn tiger is coming for my ass. I gotta think quick. But the reality, based upon, you can Google a nigga address and see damn near into his crib. You're like, damn. Look at man damn near mowing this grass and shit. How you know man mowing this grass? I see the nigga on Google Earth. So if it gets down to it, all you gotta do is go, whoop, whoop. Niggas will come help you. Whoop, whoop. Hey yo. It ain't hard. It'd be like, what's the number for 911? So it's opportunities for help. If it's major stress, is, man, we got the band app. It's Instagram, group chats. You gotta figure out how you gonna gain a support system. But at the end of the day, it still ain't no bear coming to get you. So the first thing is getting out of your perpetual stress, because say for instance a bear do come. I'm not saying that you not threatened or won't be threatened, but you want to use that shit when you need it. But to stay in a space of perpetual stress takes you out of perpetual training or perpetual learning. Thus you can't understand shit because you stress the fuck out all the time. I dare you to have a conversation with people after this COVID shit. It's almost like they don't have the tolerability to handle anything that's going to speak directly to their stress or their problem. Because if you respond to stress, you're not learning. You're not growing. You're not evolving. You're not ascending. You're acknowledging the threat, and you're using your imagination to perpetuate and to grow the threat. The first step is to remember that there is no bear. There is no threat in this moment. If you can hold that frequency and vibration, you will awaken yourself to the good and bad of the situation. But this will also allow you the space and time to accomplish goals, because now you got action steps associated to what you can do to deal with your problems. Unless you want to say, see, this is the crazy shit. I was thinking about this yesterday. People was so happy and smoking weed on 420 because the last time this year, 420, 2020, niggas got their eviction notices and people was smoking weed because they was stressed. You still in that same house. You still in that same apartment. Goddamn eviction act, right? So I say all of that to say, from the stress from a year ago, you brought that stress in, perpetuated for a whole year, worried about shit that you ain't have no control over. Nobody said, hey, you know what? First of all, you can't take responsibility for what go on in the world and what, like, nature and all of this shit. Like, it's completely weird. So it's really important that you absolve yourself and wipe yourself clean and begin to imagine what you're going to cultivate and what you're going to grow. Because if you perpetually stay in the space of a boogeyman, perpetually fear of a situation such as death, such as being sick, that'll be the seed that you plant. And you being afraid of it, because we're dealing with energies that are very exponentially powerful, you can quickly bring that into your realization. I mean, a lot of people manifest and magnetize negative and dark energies. Because when you look at negative and dark energies in relation to your problems, these are the gaps and openings for spiritual and demonic and psychic and occult vampires to attack you, because you allow them in, because you say, I'm so sick and I'm so low, I need you to help me. But never once did you say, I need to look at my problems and I need to solve them. Notice the difference. I've really worked my ass off within this spiritual community that people really do reach out to me when they good. Like, people don't always reach out to me when they down and out. But I raised my prices. I separated myself from broke people energy. I did a lot to make sure that people did not reach out to me when they was down and out. Shout out to you, Visions. I really do appreciate you for keeping it rare. A lot of people won't do that, so I gotta tap in. Because the idea of Aries energy, the idea of the sun moving in here with Venus conjunct Aries, is to really be clear about the goals that you are seriously trying to manifest right now. Now and a year from now. I gotta change that avatar. But shout out to you, Visions. I really do appreciate it. And then once again, so say for instance, we're gonna talk about some things. However, say for instance, you manage to break the threshold of success, and now you're going into an Aries season and an Aries energy. If you want to level up and go farther, there's a further sacrifice. There's a further deeper energy in relation to how successful you're going to be. I don't necessarily think I like this song. The song's pissing me off. I be needing vibes. I don't be needing all. I don't need to be excited in the morning. I need to be chilled as me, for real. Like, all that exciting, I can get turned up and things of that nature, but that's rare. Maybe you've been successful in the past. Aries energy, especially Pisces energy, spirit upon spirit, ancestor upon ancestor, guide upon guide came to me and said, this person doing this shit for all the wrong reasons, hood. Watch out for them. And I'm like, ain't you they ancestor? Ain't you they guide? Ain't you they soul? Like, how you telling me to watch out for you? People can do things for the wrong reasons based upon doing things as opposed to solving a problem, but to posture themselves and perpetuate themselves is great, as opposed to dealing with a real issue and a real problem that they got to go to sleep with and wake up with every single day. And for a lot of people, it could be weight. A lot of people, it could be relationships. A lot of people, it could be career. A lot of people, it could be talent. But this spiritual process is a beautiful process because it gives you gifts. It tells you, it helps you achieve and manifest. But it don't stop. It teaches you how to maintain and sustain that which it gives you. But the trick is, as I'm in my reflection space, I was thinking about how we forget real quickly what we did when we was down low, down and out, right? When we was down and out and the shit that we would do and the rituals that we would do, motherfuckers start doing a little shit with blood and start doing some weird shit, start looking at they cat a little different, start looking at chickens, like, where can I buy chickens at? What you need a chicken for, sis? Is it good? A motherfucker tell you actually for a chicken, shit is bad. That's real bad, right? So understanding that the download shit that you did, and you evolved to different levels, and you occur in this area. It's like, what should I do? I want to grow. I want to evolve. I'm not happy where I'm at. What is this energy? You got to go back to the roots of shit. You got to go with what works for you, right? What works for you. And that's very different. An evolved first house, an evolved Aries, Aries that has accomplished energy, meaning that we've all accomplished something at this stage of life, right? If you fully accomplished and got into a journey of life, then now you must think about how to help other people, right? How can you now help other people? And this is another level of the game people don't talk about. The energy of the wantrepreneur. Much different from the entrepreneur. People will talk to you about ideas, idea after idea, but how do you execute it? Even deeper, what if we actually become successful in it? How are we gonna split the money? Do I get most of it? Do I get none of it? Oh, you don't want to talk about that. Now it's getting bored to you. Man, in this life, with this money shit, 99% of it is a waste of time. Because on one level, people know that you want to be successful. People know that you're trying to make something of yourself. And they put the energy out that they the ones that got it together. This is all Aries energy. This is all first energy. This is what you see. But what you see is not what you get with a motherfucker. You know that, right? We done been in enough relationships. We done been in enough jobs. We done had enough encounters with people that, oh, you have a dark side. Oh, you have a flip side. At a certain point, you got to go into relationships, situations, jobs, life, conversations, experiences, expecting that dark side, expecting that flip side. Thus, the question is in relation to your business. Would you do your business if it paid you no money? Would you do what you do if it made you look fucking crazy? Man, I tell you what, I scratch my head every day doing this shit. I sit and wonder, especially now. And I honestly got shit to consider and really think about, because it's a light side and a dark side. Because ultimately, I don't think people get it, nor do I think I get it. The ability to want to go hard comes from a deep, deep place. Because being who I am, let's be honest, family, I'm not going to get the credit that I truly deserve until I transcend. And so that's the most scariest, hurtful concept that I sit and I do, because I know that this work is not for this life. And I still got to show up and act as though y'all give a fuck. In reality, I can sense that you don't, because I hear exactly what I'm saying. And I know exactly how I'm putting it together, and the idea is correspondence. Thus, energies and entities such as human beings on Earth correspond with me as if I'm a celestial being, and me and you are the same. To which I write in literature, I don't even have the book here, but in Astrology Explained, I have a whole chapter centered in correspondence. And the fact that what you think about thinks about you. Rumi says what you seek is seeking you. What you seek is seeking you. So if you seek me and I seek you back, I'm gonna be specific into what is that energy that you're sending. It's never an answer for that. Cause y'all actually think that y'all thoughts exist within y'all mind. Your brain is not a container for your thoughts. There is no container for your thoughts. Your thoughts are as translucent and as liquid and distance traveling as anything in earth. You think your cell phone got good service? No, your thoughts goddamn got 8G, 8 million G, fuck a 5G. What you focus on grows and expands. However, you have to have an actual process in growing something. So once again, the question is, if you had all the money and time in the world, would you be still dedicated and driven to do the thing that you do right now for money? And although it sucks at times, the answer for me is yes. I'm doing it right now. The time and energy and effort that I put into this video, I ain't getting shit for it. And I did click the monetization for it. I'll probably get $1 a video or $3 a video, something. Nothing. Wouldn't even allow me to take my kids to an ice cream cone trip. So the reality of support and the things that I do, I still haven't actually seen that yet. I have seen it, don't get me wrong. I see it in other areas. But I'm not doing it for money. The time and energy that I spend with you guys is not for y'all to cash me out. I'm specifically here because I love to express this, and if don't nobody benefit from this conversation, I do. Because this is what I need to hear. This is the energy. I consider myself an entrepreneur. However, it is extremely difficult. And I noticed that in 2020, partnerships saved my life. And if y'all rock with me like a long time on these daily energy readings, y'all know the energies and the ways that I speak in reference to teaming up and partnership and community. And maybe we have a long-term partnership, maybe we have a short-term partnership, but y'all know how I give it up. That's a very important aspect to all this shit. But it can't just be a wish for, it can't be a desire, it can't be a possession. It has to be a proper plan, a proper reaction, and that plan is centered in solving a problem. Thus, if one or more people can solve a problem and react to that problem perpetually, daily, and provide people with a solution when there seems to be no solution, because nobody is looking at the problem and saying, hey, how can I solve this? There's a person that's listening to this live right now that can solve a problem that can make them $1 million within the next year. Guaranteed. But when you think about it and, well, you say, I'm not in a good place right now. I'm not the best person. The idea is to think about it, to say, join the club. Nobody is. Think about this. If you wanted to start a business or if you wanted to do something, there will be somebody that will be a go-between to say, let me be the person to help you do this. Let me help you. Let me give you this guide. Take my master class, right? If that person was rich and that person was successful, they probably would care less about you signing up and paying money for a master class more than they would just teach you some shit because they already got it figured out. When you come into contact with billionaires, when you come in contact with millionaires, they are nothing like the scam artists on the internet. They are nothing like the scam artists on Clubhouse. They do not have a class or a course that you need to join. They got $1 million. Why would they don't make logic. Why would they scam you for $1,700 or $2,500 or what you're paying? Once you learn the knowledge and then you apply it in real world, it don't work. And by the time you figure out that your knowledge that you learned don't work, your money already spent. I can talk about trend lines. I can talk about support and resistance. I could talk about price action, all that shit. You start setting a trade down, the market gonna respond completely different. Because it's so easy to say. It's so easy to say I'm spiritual. It's so easy to say that all of this shit. And then if you look at the people that will say like, this person is the truth, this person helped me so much. I'm gonna give you an example of how crazy that sound. Have you ever went to the doctor's office and just seen people just chilling in the lobby like, oh, you coming to see Dr. Neepat? This doctor the coldest. Like, I had this aneurysm and he saved me. And I had this hemorrhoid, he removed it. He is the best doctor. When you a healer, you ain't doing it for clout. You doing it because it's very important that you upgrade a person's life so that psychic vampires don't attack them. My job is to make you feel so good about yourself that you are not in a space to allow somebody else to be that for you. Because we got to first understand first house energy. Wantrepreneurs want you to, it's better for you to think, hey, I got it all. You think that they got it all. The reality is that they don't have it all. The reality is that we all have a specific choice to make in this world. And there's no absolving of that choice making, decision making. We can leverage the decision making by partnerships. We can leverage the decision making by partnerships, but to say that I want to start a business by myself, for myself, and make all the money, and so I can buy a nice house and live like such and such, and if I take his master class, I'll be on his level or her level, that's highly, highly, highly unlikely. To say that I have an idea and I proposed it for my friends and they said that that was a good idea, that they was willing to invest time and energy to help me cultivate it, and then I found as many people as I can to help me bring this idea to life. Now you might be an entrepreneur, but y'all don't want to talk to people and y'all want to deal with people. Y'all want to do it secret and y'all want to do it for us because I don't want to tell nobody my idea because then they going to put negative energy. Sometimes your ideas just be bad and not fleshed out and not reasonable or not going to be a complete waste of time and people was telling you the truth. Because it's very hard to do something completely by yourself. But you can leverage these decision makings by partnership. But in the space of partnerships, it requires a first house mindset in that you being an expert. But you should have went through this during your Piscean phase to be emotionally aligned to how you're going to give to the community. Thus, you could be very clear on the problems that are blocking you from serving the community at its highest level within your specialty. Following me is not tuning in and tapping into your specialty, and some of y'all are so fucking special at what you do, you just don't even fucking realize it. We can see it, but you can't see it in yourself. You're looking at other people and imagining that you're fucking up. You're not fucking up. You're great. You're awesome, but you're just in comparison. There's no way that we can go through this situation and through this journey comparing ourselves to other people. We are mystics. We are mystical. We are magical. We are cosmic. They say it's nothing new underneath the sun, but we are beyond the sun. We're from Sirius. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and we need to discover that within ourselves. No way is being a spiritual being judging yourself off another external cup. It's like everybody got different cup designs, and I'm trying to have the best cup design, but at the same time, we all got the same amount of water within us. That's crazy. We live in a world of hard choices, but these hard choices are not specifically reserved for special, unspecial people, spiritual or unspecial people. To live in this world is to make tough decisions, to decide, to cut off bullshit. If you cut off all the bullshit in your life, you would be as successful as you were supposed to be. Your attachment to bullshit and your justification for bullshit, laziness, so forth and so on, because that's Piscean energy too. Some people love to be lazy. They love it. They will only work to a certain point, and once they reach that certain point, they're done, because the laziness is the most important energy. You want to partner up with people that don't mind making tough decisions. You want to partner up with people that don't mind looking at the problem. You want to partner up with people that don't mind seeking a solution. You think that you're going to become rich and famous by starting your own business, but that's a spiritual motif. It's not even probable. The level of running a business, think about marketing, promotion, advertising, sales, content, social media, PR. Major companies have heads of all of these departments within marketing, and then those heads have staff, and these people work every day, day in and day out, with the only thing in mind is to get this company known and imprinted into the masses of people. Your ass sitting at the crib by yourself trying to write on your goddamn labels, and you got a dream, but you're not looking at the world realistically. You're not in your first house realistically. You somewhere completely outside of the zodiac. You need to be so realistic and developing your expertise, which requires patience, but people don't have patience in the development of certain aspects. And then even deeper, you could be the expert. You could have studied, became the best ever. That's just the first house. The second house is the resources necessary to project the idea. That's the investors. A good idea deserves investors, to which people don't even get investors for their ideas. They so illusionary in the space that they either trying to scam their way through using the free version of shit and never even realizing that it takes hella resources. That's the second house. The third house is communication. So you can have, it's people with expertise. I can design an application from the ground up, and I can have you talking to your mama on video, and and teach her and she's teaching me how to cook our Sunday dinner or whatever. So Cooking with Ma, I developed this app, and then these investors invested $3 million, and so I could get this app patented, license, you name it, right? This whole project is a $5 million project. Now, that same project and that same person thus has to communicate this idea to manufacturers or to companies, because when you think about apps, there's a billion apps. So to get noticed in the app market, you probably want to get signed by a company, and you got to pitch the idea. You got to communicate the idea. Now, I'm not saying this to scare y'all or have y'all in a negative space, but you got to think about the world and competence. I'm tired of spiritual people being half-assed and thinking that their ancestors and higher self is going to carry them the rest of the way. And they attitude and they branding and they marketing, which is half-assed marketing. It ain't full marketing. We are at a disadvantage because we think we could do everything by ourselves, and the world shows us something completely different. It needs a whole conglomerate of people. And I'm just saying, hey, if you got a team, don't forget about my ass, because I ain't trying to be out here by myself. You got me fucked up. I don't know where I may have got that idea, but I need multiple teams out here in these streets. I need alliances and allegiances. I need to figure shit out. I ain't trying to be the lone wolf ranger out here if I got anything to do with it. To kind of tune in and tap into this Wantrepreneur energy. Say, for instance, a person inspires you, right? Lil Wayne inspires me. Janet Jackson inspires me. Cool. Now, when Janet Jackson is doing a tour and she performing, you'd think she give a fuck if she's inspiring your ass right now? Hopefully she better get them goddamn dance steps down, or else motherfuckers are gonna start booing her and they ain't gonna book her for another show. And if she ain't getting booked for another show, she might not make no money, so can't go on the stage thinking, let me inspire Tiffany ass. Give a fuck. She gotta dance. She gotta hit them dance moves. Meaning that the overall point is that just because you like somebody don't mean that they gonna owe you shit. So don't waste no energy in that. And if you see Janet Jackson busting a goddamn Dougie, you need to get your Dougie together. Obviously, if that's what you care about. Not to say that you can't enjoy a person's talent, but think about inspiration. You ain't inspired by nobody. It's literally in spirit, the spirit within that gets you to move the whole Rhythm Nation. Shout out to Janet Jackson. Still getting my timing together. I'm still getting my timing together, man. Let's ask these questions. A Wantrepreneur says things like, I just filed for a LLC. I don't know if people will buy this. I need an investor. There are too many competitors. I know people gonna like this. This is gonna be so perfect when we drop. An entrepreneur thinks, I just got my customer. My first customer. How can I get people to buy this? I don't need to invest money yet. Competition? Okay, that's a good sign. I need to validate this first. If they like the MVP, I'm going to improve upon that idea. See the difference between a Wantrepreneur? A Wantrepreneur is defensive, stress-based. You don't know left from right. An entrepreneur is more secure and more centered in solving the problem. See, the thing is, when you solve a problem, people will support the hell out of you. But when you do it for yourself, it look a little weird. Right? It look a little weird. So, back to a personal note. What tough decisions can you make today that will lead to a better outcome long term after these 13 moon cycles for you and your family? Right? And this is all the impact of the personal planet Venus combined with the transpersonal planet Uranus, where a awakening can look and feel like a threat because it's different and it's new, but the reality is that it is here to transform you. Okay? Simple stuff. We don't have to make it hard. I'm gonna end this with the concept in relation to all of this energy, in relation to spiritual people and how they give it up. Doing spiritual work, you develop spiritual talents. When you project your spiritual talents, you get a specific notoriety, quite naturally, because you have spiritual gifts. But what nobody tells you is that you need to work very hard. And this is for the healers. This is for the psychics. This is for the people who out here in these spiritual streets doing it for self, as opposed to thinking about other people and being a vessel for their ancestors and their guides and their overall energies that are there to support them. If a person is coming to you, they're not coming to you for you, they're coming to you for them. So you must really work in clearing that energy out in relation to, I'm just this great person. I'm this dope spiritual person. When you clear yourself out of that energy, you are able to project your spiritual light and spiritual truth very, very strong. Because you're not doing it for yourself. You're actually doing it for your clients. You're actually doing it for the people that's coming to you for readings. But I want you to be so clear that you're not doing that shit. Like, it can be so much pressure. Like, am I going to read this accurately? Are they going to give me a personal review? And another thing, this might be a side note, or this might be a straight up note, or a front note, or a back note. I don't know what direction this note is in, but it's a note nonetheless. Nobody can spiritually attack you. You can just be sad and allow spiritual vampires to enter into your frequency. That's why when, you know, my wife may ask me, well, what do you want me to do? I want you to be happy and stay happy. I want you to do whatever it takes for you to be happy. Because as long as you're happy, that means you can't be attacked. When you're sad, you open yourself up for attacks. So be very mindful of your energy and emotions as you begin to plan your life, because generally, if you're in a negative space and you're saying, okay, I'm a plan not to be so negative, subconscious mind does not understand not. It just understands that I plan to be negative. I don't want to be sad. The subconscious mind doesn't understand don't want. It just sees I want. It doesn't understand don't. It just understands I want to be sad. So the first thing is feel great. Feel great first and then plan, right? Feel great first and then deal with the problem. Be in a space that a problem won't pull you out of your alignment. You leverage that by partnerships. Feeling like, oh, I can solve the problem all by myself. Now you holding the hose, dousing the fire. Well, who the fuck gonna cut on the water? You at least need somebody that's gonna cut on the water as you put out the fire. You want to be a firefighter. You're gonna need somebody to drive you. You want to do everything. You want to drive to the fire, hook the hose up, cut the water on, carry the hose. Like, come on now, you need a team. Thus, that might be the problem for a lot of y'all in relation to Venus conjunct Taurus, because you have to be transpersonal beyond your personal box or bubble or feelings. But you may want to create a barrier between yourself and other people. The barrier between yourself and other people is expertise. Be a necessary component to the success. Don't be an expendable component to the team. Don't be a problem. The next step is to figure out what you're going to do now that you have a plan, which probably going to be the hardest thing you ever do in life unless you get it done. And then it's the most valuable thing you do in life, because our value and risk and energy and it's relatable. Meaning that if it was easy, everybody would do it and nobody would be talking about it, or everybody would talk about it, but nobody talks about it because it's extremely difficult to say, let's partner up and do something bigger than us. Let's evolve. Let's level up. Let's ascend. Let's put a 13 moon plan in place. And let's walk every single action step in relation to our 13 moon plan. By the second moon, people falling off because generally people don't be really wanting what they say they want now, do they? But once again, you leverage all of this by being an expertise. And at the end of the day, if you have to do it by yourself, do it by yourself. But for the most part, you want to leverage as much as you can in relation to business. Business is a skill in leveraging. it might look like Steve Jobs is the best thing since sliced bread, but if it wasn't for those programmers, your iPhone wouldn't be as tech savvy and functional. If Steve Jobs was just there talking shit the whole time, you would have the worst phone ever. It wouldn't even be a sense. But if you have somebody on the tech supporting the same things that you saying, I want a phone that's able to do a video call at the touch of a button, and then FaceTime comes up. If FaceTime is shabby, it don't matter what Steve Jobs was talking about. But the reason why I place it into you, in front of you, real and raw, so at the end of a 13-month moon cycle, when you accomplish something great, when you accomplish something amazing, it'd be all worth it, because this shit was hard as hell. I don't want you to think that getting into partnerships is easy. I don't want you to think that manifesting is easy. I don't think that you ain't gonna have to sacrifice and put everything into it. You might have to do days, hella sacrifices for y'all to even think that I'm a success. And if a person say, you know, Hood Mystic, you know, you successful, you did this, you did that. Oh man, that shit was crazy for you. I had to go through a whole lot for you to say some shit like that. So if you think that's something that you might want, oh baby, get prepared. See, a lot of people ain't gonna tell you this, especially spiritual people, because obviously that ain't what you wanted to hear. But I'm trying to get you outside of the Wantrepreneur energy. And even if you outside of the Wantrepreneur energy and you full entrepreneur and you like, I like your videos, Hood, well, hit me up in the goddamn email. You know my email. Teach me how to be a better entrepreneur. Teach me how to be a business owner. Let's partner on some business shit. How you want to help me? I want to help. How you want me to help you, and you don't want to help me? What, you gonna give me a couple of dollars? What I'm gonna do with that? It don't cost you nothing to chop up game. I got ideas. I'm creative too. I can help you. I'm sure I can. I know I can. See, we need to, in this Aries energy, we need to get outside of this person paid me money for this. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, how much is money really worth? So it's a lot of things. Y'all can tell I got a lot of things. In spirituality, it's a literary device. This literary device, and once you see it, you'll notice it everywhere. This is why you say Bobby Hemmett was the best. There is none before Bobby Hemmett, none after Bobby Hemmett, because he wasn't conceitful. He wanted to give as much information that he could and left it on the table. Generally, after that, people began to step into metaphysical conceit. They say one thing and two things and then tell you what you want to hear. So this plant does this, does that, and this will get you what you want. By the time you get that plant, do that plant, that you done even, the problem that you already was focused on then already alleviated itself. Spirituality, success has no connection. Spirituality, ease have no connection. Spirituality, money have no connection. Spirituality, love have no connection. These are human things that you're going to have to work on every single day of your life, because they become important every day. If you imagine that you're a love master and don't actually practice love within your real relationships, you're a hypocrite. If you say that you're a spiritual person or an occult person, but then in real terms you're just on some human shit, you're a hypocrite. Because these are not titles, these are actions. These require you to step outside of your wants. These require you to make tough decisions that, what is the spiritual world for? It's like, what will the day bring? You never know. I promise you, Monday, it was 80 degrees. I was thinking about going to the beach. The rest of the week, I was wearing a winter coat. You never know. Is it wrong that it went from hot to cold? Is it wrong that I went from rich to poor, or poor to rich, or in love to out of love to back in love? Are these things wrong? Or are things at a perpetual flow that we just have to observe without our emotions? Because our emotions will then block us from making tough decisions. Our emotions will say, I don't need to deal with that right now because I can't handle that right now. Well, this is the time to handle it, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not based upon spirituality and spiritual groups and spiritual leaders. You have your own personal choices right now that you can take advantage of. And maybe, just maybe, right, when it gets time to spiritual things, you can have a good reference point into the sacrifices that you made to bring you to a higher, elevated, evolutionary stance. So with all of that being said, after all of my rambles, I hope like you guys have a great and wonderful morning. The mystics will be on the road. I will do a daily energy reading on the road, but I will not be doing readings from the 23rd until the 30th. If you missed out on your readings for the month, family, you can get your readings starting the 1st of May. Generally, so let's deal with this. People say emotions are good. Emotions are good in real life. When you give your emotions to people who don't even fucking know you, I mean, it's like pouring water into the concrete. What are you doing that for? The emotions that you give to other people, you can give to yourself. The emotions that you spend in negative spaces, you can spend in positive spaces. Emotions need to be understood. It's books, Emotional Intelligence 1, and then it's Emotional Intelligence 2.0. So emotions need to be understood. Emotions need a whole conversation in relation to a conversation about what should be good or bad. In reference to all things as a collective, we can be emotionally stirred in directions like sheep. To which we don't even know where we're going, because wherever our emotions tell us to go, we follow them. But sit back and think about why your emotions are responding the way that they're responding, and ultimately look at some problems and solve some problems. Don't go through this week saying, fuck my problems. And generally, if you solved all your problems and you got people that's coming up to you in your frequency and your resonation, help their ass out. Do something for them. Can you talk about emotional ties to money? Of course, because that's another thing. Part of this Hood in the Morning service thing is that I want everybody that listens to my channel to become millionaires. Because it's so easy and it's so possible. And generally, I want to remove all the resistance, the emotional resistance towards money. One of the things that I'm gonna reference moving in is y'all gonna have to stop beating yourselves up, and y'all gonna have to start accepting and allowing massive amounts of money to enter into y'all bank accounts. It's a very important thing. We have to resist the collective, and generally, it's a lot of things that I plan to do with this Hood in the Morning series, but that's one of the things that I'm talking about, emotional energies in relation to our finances, to which if I I've never been a millionaire, but my goal is to become a millionaire. And because I set that goal, I had to deal with the reality of becoming a millionaire, and it was scary and it was sobering. And I had to deal with my emotions in relation to the things that I've done personally at an emotional level that blocked money from me. I did that to myself. It's very deep. So, emotionally, how we feel towards money versus the action steps that we can begin to do, because one of the things about money is that we need to actually deal with people who actually got it, and not be posturing within ourselves to say I'm a millionaire when we're not really a millionaire. My first house declaration is that I'm not a millionaire, family, but my goal is to be a millionaire. So in the space of that, I need to understand the actual actions and how to use my emotions. Instead of using my emotions to be sad and depressed and, subjugated, I'm going to specifically use my emotions and frequencies to become a millionaire, because I have 4 small children. And to actually raise them successfully and healthily, I need to make a lot more money than I'm making. And that's the real. All this mystic shit is cool, but then I'm like really thinking about my children, and I'm like, okay, you gonna have to go harder on all fronts and all situations, and you can't take shit for granted. So with these conversations, with these presentations, what you're seeing is a person that is taking their gifts and their skills and their talents and everything in relations to what I'm doing seriously, because I don't got it. And I'm figuring it out, and hopefully we can figure it out together. Because if you got it and you got it figured it out and you listening to me, well, that shit backwards as hell. We either gonna come together or you gonna take over the platform and tell us how to get this goddamn bag, but don't waste our time. We ain't dealing with no entrepreneurs. So y'all know the email, y'all know the DM, y'all know the Instagram, y'all know all of that. Linktree is in the descriptions. I thank y'all for y'all time. I thank y'all for y'all patience to allow me to get through this message. And if this message resonated with you, of course, like, share, subscribe, but tell somebody personally. That'll be the biggest favor. That'll be the biggest help to this platform, because fuck all that. You don't DM them a message of the video. Don't just say, watch this. Tell them what you learned in this video and say, I really think you should watch this video. Let me know what you think of this video when you watch it. Something to that effect, because I'm trying to grow my channel on goddamn YouTube, damn it. I'm trying to get 10,000 subscribers. You understand? I got 9,600 on my way to 9,700. We 300 away. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody so I can get 10 bands so I can start selling this merch on my goddamn on YouTube channel. But no, man. I'm serious, but I'm playing, but I'm even more serious. Colombian exchange. We won't be doing any active shipping because, like I said, we'll be on a week vacation at an undisclosed location in some woods and some nature, tuning in and tapping in to specific frequencies and reversing specific rituals. So, we appreciate all of your support, from my family to yours. Y'all know how I give it up. It's good to be back. I'm happy that y'all tuned in and tapped in with me thus far, and comment some ideas, some concepts that y'all want me to tackle in the comments to this video. And other than that, man, y'all have a peaceful and prosperous week. I do personal readings. Please click the link tree, which is located in the description. Peace, y'all.
Waking up the masses. It's your baby mama's favorite astrologer.
Like, can I get 5 more men?
Scrape that crust off that third eye and tap in with Hood in the morning. From Atlantis to Egypt, you are now tapped in with the realest nigga on the internet, the Hood Mystic. The Hood Mystic.